independence of veterans in the community. So they certainly have a real role to play. The Jeeps are always a favourite in the parade. There's Frank Cox driving his Jeep with various veterans there, look like Royal Australian Engineers. And so we'll see a number. There's the Flame, of course, the Melanie Bryce driving the torch there. The Flame comes from Kings Park, and that's the Eternal Flame of Remembrance. So National Servicemen with Frank Cox. There's the Royal Navy will be with a Jeep driven by Ian Lemon. Army Catering Corps badge you saw there, the big pot with looks like steam or something coming out of it. So Army Catering Corps gets a Guernsey. Couldn't do without our cookers of the food and tucker, that's for sure.
Army marches on its stomach.
Too right. So Ron Devonish with the Vietnam and Korean veterans. Norm Chester with Z Special Unit this year. Bob Henderson with the Royal Marines. Peter Moritz, the Singapore Military Forces. Tony Arrigo with the Return Sisters. And we'll have Anne Leach there. You see her still wearing her uniform from her Second War days. Anne's in her 90s now. There she is. Medal of the Order of Australia and the highly regarded Florence Nightingale Medal too, one of the very few recipients of that. The Sunderland Flying Boats in the Jeep there as well. George Goldie is driving some Z Special. There's a Korean veteran. There's long service medals up as well. George Goldie for years was interesting. He actually could fit into his World War II uniform and was an interesting character.
That is the way to travel on.
I think so. I think there is a little bit of status in that. But anyway, getting the veterans onto the parade, and the people can relate to them so much, and even though they can't walk the distance anymore, they're very much part of the parade. And of course the vehicles,
there's so many of them there, and the vehicles so beautifully restored as well.
Yes, quite right. You know, superb. 2nd 28th Battalion, the famous Australian 9th Division, served during the Siege of Tobruk. And El Alamein, and then were brought back to fight the Japanese, the Huon Peninsula campaigns, and also into Borneo. So the Chev Blitz, the other vehicles there are the with the 2nd 28th and the big Chev. That's the big obvious one. They're all good days. So Pacific Starman, and the chap with the hat behind has got his Africa Star and Pacific Star up, so a veteran fighting the Germans and Italians in North Africa and then coming back to fight the Japanese in the Pacific.
Now that's what I was referring to a moment ago. That is the way to travel.
Yes, Clint. The traditions of the famous light horse, the 10th Light Horse of the First World War. Followed closely by the Australian Royal Australian Armoured Corps Association WA branch, led by Colonel Ken Ashman. Ken Williams is serving there with the 10th Light Horse. Terry Stidwell is leading the Royal Australian Armoured Corps Vietnam's group. He was with A and B squadrons with 3 Cab in Vietnam. The Black Hat